Alright guys, so welcome back to the Super Late Model Racing Series as we are back here for the championship race at Nashville Fairgrounds. We need to win, we need Brian Ramirez to lose badly to be able to win the championship race. So let's go qualifying and see if we can start near the front, hopefully. Alrighty, so Nashville, very fun track. Really do love the banking turns. The turns are a lot of fun to run. Yep, really do enjoy these. So there we go for our qualifying lap here. So as I said, a lot of the guys brought in some pretty hefty cars to be able to try and win this weekend here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. So we've got to perform here. And that's not really that much of a performance, but it's decent. See what we can do here. Car feels really good, feels fast. But as usual, I don't think our qualifying time is going to reflect that too well. Not terrible, but we will be starting in 13th. Let's see who's got the pole. I can almost tell you who it is. Yep, Brian Ramirez up on pole, so we have got to get to him and knock him out to be able to ensure that we can win the championship. And Eddie Crawford's going to be wanting to do about the same thing, so that's what we got to do in order to win the championship here. Alright guys, if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, please do so. It helps out the channel a whole bunch. Thanks. Alright guys, so here we go racing. We have got to get to Brian Ramirez. So here we go, starting all the way back in 13th, not where we wanted to be, I can tell you that. And the cars are fast here at Nashville. Trying to get to the outside of the 79, we do. We're going to try and move up as fast as we can. Eddie Crawford already moved up a few spots up there, trying to get to the front as well. But we got to make sure that we keep Brian Ramirez in our sights, or else he's going to go running away. And we won't be able to get to him. So that's what we got to work with as the car gets a little bit on the weird side there in that turn. Not sure what happened there. Good car to our inside. That's the 105. And into the wall we both go. Not what he needed. Got stuck on my front end as usual. That sent us both into the wall there. And of course, Brian Ramirez is still leading this race. Nobody really challenging him, so not what we want to see. So now they're fighting back behind him, so that's going to give him a much larger lead. And I'm going to guess that he's going to keep that lead all the way to the end, unfortunately. Not what we want. So everybody staying pretty close here today. As was mentioned, nobody was going to want to be straggling behind if they didn't have to here at Nashville. They wanted to be able to put on a great show. And as you can see, everybody back there is sticking pretty close together on speed, so they're doing pretty good. So we moved all the way back to our starting position of 13th, so we need to move our way back up. But don't really have quite enough speed at the moment. It doesn't seem like to get back up to these guys. Checking damage, we got quite a bit of it, unfortunately. There we go, we got Ricky Cox there in front of us along with Ned Hill. So both of those guys we need to get past here as soon as we can. Stop moving our position a little further up, as we are stuck back here in mid-pack. Thanks a lot to our damage, more than likely. Brian Ramirez appears to have clocked out here once again, and I don't think he's going to be coming back anytime soon, unfortunately. Trying to get underneath the one here, Brett Thompson, and we're going to get him here. Very nice. We just got to get to that 105 right there in front of us. He's running a real good time with that car. We ran up the track there just a bit. 17,736. It's the time we're running there. So as I said, everyone else was running, I forget what the time was, but they were running some really good times. So that was our best time at the 17.709. So just trying to really hug the apron line here as much as we can to try and get to this 105. Give him a little bump there. Let him know we're here. And we'll just go under him. So that'll work. Which with that, how much damage he had, just like we have. Surprised he was holding us up that much. Gotta be aggressive here. And we gotta move. Because 50 laps at this place goes pretty quick with how fast this track races. Another restart wouldn't hurt us either. Potentially. And would help us out greatly, but currently we'll go with what we got. Field slowly starting to stretch out a bit. As everybody's slowly wearing out tires here and there depending on what the racing groove that they're running is. And Brian Ramirez just continues to strengthen his lead and run away with it. So if we can possibly get our car up there, it would be rather nice. Definitely a nice track. Really do like it. Lots of fun to run. And running that bottom definitely feels a lot like running Bristol. Definitely similar. Not quite as much baking, but still. Very fun track to run. Got the worn out surface. Got some tire wear going on. Pretty good amount of it. We got to get to that 71 if we can. And we're going to run up the track, kiss the wall a bit. Got Jesse right in front of us. I'm going to try to get to him. Hopefully get past. 32 laps remaining and we're in 10th position. Field has stretched out pretty good. And you can see 3.3 seconds to Biddy Green, who's in 8th. I'm not thinking we're going to have too much of a chance, unfortunately, at that championship. The only battle we can hope for to be able to dethrone Brian Ramirez is Eddie Crawford getting up there and mixing things up with him. But unfortunately, I doubt that very much, as Eddie Crawford just seems to be off of his game for the most part. Trying to get to this 55. He has been real consistent here. Just get underneath him here. He's going to keep us at bay there in the line. Give him a little push. That's not what I was... I'm not sure how that's working. That's some weird physics there if I've ever seen them. You're 2/3 of the way up the car. And somehow if you're side drafting him, he starts spinning like you're at the rear end of the car and hitting him. I'm not sure how that is explainable, but somehow it works. Alright, we got Biddy Green and Robbie Collins up ahead of us. Next two guys that we can hopefully get to, though I kind of doubted with how far ahead they are. We might be able to save more tires than they do, but once again, that's not something we can count on. So there we go, 26 laps remaining. And we've got 3.6 seconds to the car ahead. So what we really need is a caution, but once again, that's probably not going to happen, as they have been very, very lax on the cautions. And even if we have multiple vehicles making contact into the wall, we still haven't gotten any cautions or even a mention of a caution. So, interesting. We're at 2.8, 2.6 seconds to Robbie Collins there, slowly closing the gap on him. It's definitely one we want to see. I think this is a lapped car directly in front of us, so I think Robbie Collins is a little bit further ahead there. But we got to be able to move through this lap traffic here if we can. we'll keep on marching forward. Let's see, what do we got? We got the 15 here. We'll run a little bit on the high side, do a bit of a crossover down the stretch. That should get us the momentum we need, and we will be able to pass him like that. Very nice move. Yeah, we got Robbie Collins right there in front of us, currently stuck behind a lap car, so he's been working on him there. So that's going to help us out quite a bit as he's stuck there, can't quite get past. Yeah, his car doesn't want to run the high line is what it is. And the lap car continuously runs the bottom. So Robbie Collins just cannot get past there as his car just isn't quite as good on the top lane. So we're going to run the bottom here. That's going to get us some position. 69 moves up, and we are past both of those guys. Now we got Robbie Collins taking the bottom. Going to try and run that. So he's right there behind us. We got Billy Green about 3 seconds ahead of us. Ooh, and we did have a lead change. I believe that's Ned somebody. Nope, that's not Ned. I don't remember who's in the 4 at the moment, but that's currently who's in the lead. And they are fighting back and forth between the 4 and the 71 of Brian Ramirez. So both of those guys actually mixing it up there in the front of the pack. Nice to see. We definitely want to see that just a bit more. If they wouldn't mind wrecking themselves out, that would also be helpful. But once again, I won't hold my breath for that one. We got Robbie Collins here, basically drafting along with us here through the field. So we'll see how all that works. I'm not going to raise my hopes too much, but it almost seems like I'm gaining time on the 71, so that racing back and forth there at the front might actually be helping us out just a tad, as it does seem like we gets loose off the corner there. Might be moving there a little bit more further along. The 05 of Robbie Collins there making a move. He's going to get trapped behind this lap car right here. Try and make a move along the straight here, so that's not what we needed. We're going to take a 3 wide. There's the 05 spinning around. He's able to catch it pretty well. And we're able to keep moving there, so that's going to get a nice little log jam back there. So hopefully that will slow the progress of the 71 up just a bit. It's a nice move from both of us, able to keep it out of the wall and continue moving along without any major contact there. Very, very nice. I was like, I wasn't going to keep on racing him because he was just going to keep slowing me down, so we didn't need that. Alright, we got Chase Jones, Billy Green once again up in front of us. They're about 4 seconds ahead thanks to all that contact back there. We got Robbie Collins slowly falling back just a bit. 11 laps to go, so I'm not going to hold my breath for too many more positions. Unless we get some major traffic issues up there near the front. Slow everybody else down, but yeah, I'm not seeing that as we have 10 laps to go here at Nashville. Chase Jones slowly slowing up a tad, looks like. Billy Green and him mixing it up, it looks like, in front of us. That could potentially help us out. As we continue to race here, we got the 129 in front of us once again. Let's see if we cannot have him spin off of our nose this time, which apparently he finds a certain thrill about that, it seems like. There we go, no contact with that pass, very nice. Nice not to have to deal with that. And we got Chase Jones moved up a little bit. We're not really catching him a whole lot right now, so it looks like whatever it was, they sorted out a bit. Moving their times forward. Got 6 laps remaining here at Nashville Fairgrounds. And it's looking very unlikely that we're even going to remotely be able to get back towards the front. We do have a gaggle of cars there behind the 71. If we get a major crash, we might be able to get the officials to wake up and throw a caution. But that's very, very unlikely. Got the 83 here in front of us. They want to slow us down a bit. We're getting a little bit loose coming off that corner. Able to catch that before it hits the wall, so that was nice. Oh, unless something tragic happens up in the front, Brian Ramirez will be the champion without too much fanfare, it looks like. Definitely has put on a pretty consistent season. And points-wise, looks like he's going to be able to run away with it very, very easily. And be able to seat it with a win here at Nashville Fairgrounds as well, as we have 2 laps to go. So it doesn't look like we're going to be able to catch anybody else for position. We got the 133 here in front of us. Here we go, 1 lap to go, presented by Combustion Gamer gear. Check it out. And we are going to finish 8th without too much of a question. So good night, fast car, but honestly, just with that crash in the very first part of the lap, we weren't going to be able to move up any, unfortunately. So here we go, looking at the top 10. Harry Nelson, that was the guy that was racing him. So Brian Ramirez there in first, Harry Nelson in second, Eddie Crawford third, Samantha Bell in fourth, Kevin Murphy in fifth, Chase Jones in sixth, Billy Green seventh, us in eighth, Robbie Collins in ninth, and Tommy Beatty there rounds out the top 10. Alrighty, and there's the end of the season, guys. We end up falling to 5th there in a pretty close points battle. Harry Nelson able to edge out Eddie Crawford for the 2nd position, and of course Brian Ramirez able to continue on and get it 930 points and able to get the championship for the Super Late Model Racing Series. We also got Eddie Crawford in 3rd, Samantha Bell in 4th. We finished in 5th, Chase Jones in 6th, Kevin Murphy in 7th, Ned Hill in 8th, Robbie Collins in 9th, and Ricky Cox able to grab the 10th position. So that's your top 10 in the finishing of the series. So definitely a lot of fun to run. We got ourselves 866 points on the season along with 4 wins, and definitely didn't do too bad. Could definitely have done a few better races. We got 1st at Sanford, 1st at Eastern Hills, 2nd at Mountain Shadows, 11th at Chestnut County, 8th at Lucas Oil, 1st at Slinger, definitely a fun race to be able to win, 15th at Desert View, 1st at Honeysuckle Grove, 4th at Walnut Creek, and 5th there at the Nashville Fairgrounds. So a lot of fun to race at all those tracks, and definitely a very fun season to run. So thanks to all the guys that made it possible. Thanks to our Xfinity crew that's left over to put these cars together at the shop and be able to put us out on the track. Definitely a lot of fun. And thank you guys so much for watching the Florida Racing Car in the Super Late Model Racing Series. We're going to see you guys here next time with more video content on the Combustion Gamer YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.